Greetings everyone and welcome back to Hiveswap Friendsim Volume 3. I totally forgot if I should say episode of volume there. And I noticed, yes, it's a different art style. It is definitely, but let's not keep up with all those meta stuff right now because we want to have friendship, as they just said. I totally missed that opportunity. Okay, last time we had a very emotional story with Skilla right here, and now we will go and meet Bronya Ursama. Interesting. What will await? Caverns. Okay, straight up, to the point. You've been traveling through a cave network for a while now. I have? The rigid stone is a welcome respite from the eerily organic infrastructure you've been encountering. But it is also proving an unwelcome respite from friend-making. Maybe it was too much to hope for, that this cavern would be home to another potential friend buddy. A new buddy. Maybe leaving the big city behind was a horrible mistake. Just maybe these dark, cold tunnels are completely devoid of hang on. There's a bunch of buildings in the distance. That music though. Oh, hello. I thought you were one of my girls, but you don't look like your jade blood, or anything else actually. How strange. Oh jeez, seriously, I want that soundtrack. You convey your usual spiel regarding your circumstances. You are lost and lonely and your ribs are still broken, you think? Honestly, the ribs are fine. You could just use another friend or two. I see. My first responsibility is to my jades and the mother grub. Haha! So my headcanon of the priesthood kinda was similar. So you can't make any so I can't make any promises of friendship just yet, but you do look like you need someone to take care of you. I do not know how VV. Here in the Brooding Caverns, we follow a few simple rules. Yes, Brooding Caverns. Don't invite drama from up top down below. Oh, okay. Protect the mother grub. We have no hierarchy, but do what I say. Interesting. Let's do everything we can to keep up your current record of dozens of sweeps without any jades being culled. Let's do everything we can to keep up our current record of dozens of sweeps without any jades being culled. Interesting. You're not sure what half of those words mean, but you nod your head. Good. I'll take you to our hive. Our hive? Interesting. Oh, this gets interesting even more. Like, every second's just oozing with lore. Love it. Follow me. You follow her into her hive, which looks like a school or some kind of dormitory, with multiple rooms and multiple floors. Usually more of the jades are around. I suppose everyone is out watching the Imperial drones arrive with the filial pails. Okay. Girls, we have a visitor to our caverns. So, I mean, okay, it's either the drones only collect from Alternia, which is kind of weird to think about, since all of them are underage, or the drones even go to space. I mean, my second guess would make more sense, to be honest. First, do not be alarmed by their bizarre appearance. They seem to be harmless and quite weak. Do not give them more injuries than they already have. Our visitors deserves a warm jade blood welcome. I kinda like how this goes on. She slaps her hands, no one else is around, but you stand to attention and give her the thumbs up to show that you read her loud and clear. No one else is around? Okay. You notice that she called you visitor and not friend, but that's okay. You can do whatever it takes until you're upgraded from visitor to friend, or at least charity case. Grubs! Oh my goodness, grubs! You follow her upstairs and she stops at a big room on the second floor. When you step into it, you have to clap your hand over your mouth to keep from gagging at the revolting sight. Oh, come on! There are big, baby-sized lava-looking things all over the floor, squirming around and crying and worming out of kiddie pools of green slime. What the hell? Oh, come on, this is adorable! This is our nursery. Most of these wigglers are sick or injured, so we look after them in here until they're, well enough to go back out to the caverns and spin their cocoons. Ah. That is cute. And it actually looks like hospital-esque. I love this. Aww. She looks shifty all of a sudden, giving you some side eye, like she's seizing you up. You try to look very non-threatening and also 100% trustworthy. We keep this nursery on the down low. It's not against any laws, but it's something of a break with tradition to save any of the grubs instead of just letting them die. Yeah, kinda, I think that rings a bell. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure why we don't do it. I guess it just feels right to me to take care of them, the same way I take care of my jades. A nursery, huh? You look around again with this new information. You guess you can sort of see how the Wriggles look like babies. You can't believe that one of these things could grow up into anything that looks like Bronya, but this is on an alien planet, so who knows? Yeah, but no, don't assume, don't judge. Everything's cool. She takes you over to a shelf that seems to hold medical supplies. You're not sure what can be done for your broken ribs, but maybe she has some kind of alien technology that can help. I just noticed we're 8 minutes in and didn't have our first fail choice yet. Is this like a fail-free thing? Huh. But when she starts going through the cabinet, you don't see anything that looks high-tech or like the thing that fixed your arm. I guess that most of what we have is stuff for the regulars, and I'm not familiar enough with your bizarre anatomy to know if it will help. But if you're not completely sure how to do something, it's best to try anyway. First, even if you fail, everyone else can still learn from your mistake. Second, maybe you won't fail, you never know. I like the spirit, but we're kind of talking about my health here. You're not sure about applying this ethos to your broken ribs. Yeah, exactly. But she looks so determined it might be rude to say no. Also it kind of looks cute. Ah, here we have the first question. I think. Go for it. My ribs are already broken, so where's the harm? Thanks, but no thanks. I'll heal on my own just fine. Okay, I'm not entirely sure what could be the fail here. I kind of want to get the fail out of the way first. I think the thanks but no thanks will be the fail. But personally, I would rather go for this one. I'm seriously don't know. Oh, fuck it. Okay, come here. Lift up your shirt so I can get your injured bellow sack enclosed. Yes, like that. Turn the part that's all bloody and horrifying towards me. She has something that looks like some kind of ointment. It's a shade of bright green, similar to the slime lids you see around the nursery, and it also seems to be glowing. Seems like there's nothing wrong about applying it to your skin. But despite your optimism, the second Bronya rubs some of it on your broken skin, you feel a searing hot pain like you just got doused with poison. You flinch back instinctively. Your momentum carries you too far, and as you step back, you trip on something behind your feet. No! You can't cartwheel your arms, but it's no use. You're going down. You're yelling timber. You fall, you feel something soft and squishy break your fall, and you hear a terrible squelching noise and some kind of animal squeal. No! Oh no! My instincts betrayed me! You have fallen right onto one of the wrigglers. You're all off it, but there's no use. It's squished flat and you're covered in olive fluid. That you think might be just its blood. You look up to Seabor's horrified face and know that there's no hope for friendship those vengeful eyes. Oh jeez. You might want to run before I throw you out this window and break the rest of your bones. I turn your deadliest ass. Oh no, it has a sad face. Oh no. At least I got the fail out of the way, I guess. Oh no. Oh no. Yes, at least I got the fail out of the way. Oh. I don't deserve that friendship if I kill a wriggler with my ass. It's like killing a baby with your... It's exactly like killing a baby with your ass. Okay. Thanks, but no thanks. I will not kill a wriggler this time. I don't know that because it didn't happen, but I'll heal on my own just fine. Oh, well, if you're sure. I'm worried about you, though. You seem like you need help, and I wish I could help you more. Yeah, apparently trying to heal me is getting things killed, so maybe not. If I can't take care of someone, I'm not sure how we can ever truly be friends. Okay, you try to cheer her up, pointing out that friendship is a two-way street, after all. She doesn't have to concern herself with your mutilated frame. How can you help her instead? Well, sure. There are things around here that I could use some assistance with. However, I don't take this the wrong way, but we've only just met. I don't know that I can trust you to be as responsible as I am. She's a mom friend. It's not easy to be one in charge. You have to be conscientious, considerate, and competent at all times. You try to think of the times in life when you've been conscious, considerate, or competent. You're drawing a bit of a blank, but hey, new planet, new you. You're sure that you have what it takes. I guess if you want to prove that you can be responsible, I can let you help me out today. It's a good time for a visit to the mother grub. You're careful to step around all the little guys on the floor as you head out of the nursery. do we get to see the friggin' mother grub? Like, as a picture? Because we saw the luces of, Scylla. I'm all giddy right now. She takes you back outside, and these caverns are even bigger than you first realized. They're also dark and cold and gloomy. And you can't see anywhere that might lead up to the planet's surface. Does she really just live down here all the time? To make some conversion during this cold hike in a damp cave, you mentioned that living underground like this seems kind of depressing. You realize too late that this wasn't very tactful, but she doesn't get angry at you conversational gambit of insulting her home. Oh no, it's very peaceful down here. Well, in comparison to anywhere else. I quite enjoy it. The Brooding Caverns are a place for life and birth, not death. That's pretty uncommon on Alternia. True. You're still not sure what she means by Brooding Caverns, but you guess it has something to do with the wrigglers in her nursery. Before you can ask, you reach the top of a ridge and get a new, wider view of the rest of this cavern. It's enormous, probably the size of a small city. All over the cave floor, you see more wrigglers crawling everywhere. Cocoons line the cave walls and the larger stalagmites with some young trolls crawling out of them. Babies! Oh my god! I want to be there. I wanna floof them. Walking, flying, and crawling among the wrigglers and young trolls are a variety of white monsters of all kinds and shapes and size. Ah, so the Lucy pick up the wrigglers from here directly. I mean, makes sense, I guess. In the center of the cavern there is... you don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a huge, many-legged queen bug of some kind, with a goat-shaped skull and horns coming out of her head. Well, I think that kind of gave away the goat thing. Her bulbous sphincter ripples as she lays a continuous stream of hundreds of eggs. Continuous, okay. From which you assume the grey wrigglers will hatch. The grey wigglers? Okay. And marching through all this, you see several hulking bipedal creatures, each carrying 2 buckets, either to or away from the mother grub. Wow! They look armed and they move like regimented soldiers of some kind. You are instinctively terrified of them. This is where the magic happens, and by that I mean the continuation of our species. Jadebloods like myself are entrusted with looking after this process, which is, of course, a very special job. The Imperial drones carry filial pails of genetic material to the mother grub for her slurry. She lays eggs that hatch new grub broods. After the wrigglers emerge from their cocoons, the new trolls will go through the trials, and the ones that make it will be selected by Elusis to help care for them. The wrigglers emerge from their cocoons. Okay, so the baby trolls go through trials and then they get Elusis. Okay, so wrigglers never get Elusis? Together, the young trolls and the Elusi go up to the surface together, where the trolls will grow up or get cold, or whatever. As Bronya explains troll reproduction to you, one of the Imperial drones veers sharply to the left, and in the process, tramples over a few wrigglers and young trolls. Aww. The drone continues on, but several of the Elusi cry out, crowding around their dead or injured charges. One of them, a gigantic beast that resembles a bison, bellows and rears up on its hind legs, hitting one of the other Lucy with its front hoof. Oh jeez, not again. This kind of damage control is a lot of what we have to deal with. Whenever a Lucis goes rogue out of grief or confusion, there's the potential for it to lash out at the other Lucy, the Wrigglers, or the Mother Grub herself. We Jadeblers cannot let that happen. She looks concerned, a marked contrast to how confident she's seemed before now. You offered to help her out earlier, and it seems like now's your chance. Someone has to stop that rogue Lucis, and that someone could be you? Fight the monster! Save the day! You've got this. Be a weenie. Which one could possibly lead to a dead end? Last time it was the step in action thing. Let's be a weenie. You definitely do not like the idea of wading into a monster fight. Not even to save the progenitor of your new friend's species. In fact, you don't like that Bronya is so focused on protecting all these helpless toddlers and distressed animals instead of taking care of you. Oh, come on, that's selfish. You stammer out that you don't think you can take on any kind of monster right now. In fact, you just felt another stab of pain in your ribs. You may be blacking out. Oh, don't! Bronya's concerned face turns in your direction as you start to swoon. She catches you before you hit the ground and your heart flutters. Oh, no! Now I'm uncomfortable with this dick move. You look up at her serious face and she looks like such a mom, but also such a friend. Like some sort of combination of these two concepts. Yikes, you don't look so good. I can't leave you alone, but not when you're in such a bad shape. Maybe I could carry you on my back while I try to stop the rampaging Lucis? Your heart flutters to turn to pinpricks of alarm. That sounds dangerous, mainly for you. You try to think of what you can say to dissuade her. Something other than, I think you should ignore the helpless babies and mother in danger behind you in favor of continuing to hold me in your strong arms. But before you can speak, you hear a commotion behind her. She turns to look over her shoulder and her face sags with relief. Yes, the other Jades are here. They should know what to do. We've taken care of crises like this before. Of course, usually I'm there to help. Okay. I still feel like a dick. If you crane your neck, you can just glimpse a crowd of trolls corralling the rogue Lucis away from the Mother Grub, while other trolls calm the remaining Lucy and swoop up any Wrigglers in harm's way. It looks like I needn't have worried. They're more than capable of stepping in while I'm otherwise occupied. I'm so proud. Okay then, you take this opportunity to compliment her on what a good leader she must be. To have trained the others so well, super smooth. She beams at you and sets you down carefully on the cavern floor, kneeling at your side. This could have gone quite badly. I'm glad I didn't make the wrong choice when I stayed to help you instead of rushing off. Please tell me this is a bad ending, so I have a good ending for the end. I don't know why I want... Also, I was a dick. I don't want this to be the good ending. I don't want me being a dick being the good ending. It just goes to show sometimes the best thing you can do for a group is to take care of the weakest person in it. Not too wrong. You kind of want to object to being called the weakest person, but you did just fake a fainting spell for attention, so maybe now isn't the best time. Instead, you thank her sincerely for sticking by your side. The two of you watch together as order is gradually restored to the characters below. And even with your injuries, you feel close to content. Quite hopeful about how this relationship is progressing. You notice that at your side several wrigglers are blindly squirming around, confused and crying. There are some young trolls here too, looking around all lost and bereft. You're not sure if their Lucy ran off with the others that got involved in the fracas, or if these little guys are orphans now. Now that you're seeing them out in the natural cavern light, the wrigglers look less like maggots to you. In fact, they're even kind of cute. You can see why Bronya would want to take care of them. One of the smallest wrigglers closest to you has somehow flipped himself over onto his back and seems unable to right himself. His little legs waving in the air while he tries. Trying to be careful with your ribs, you reach out to scoop him up and cradle him to your chest, rocking him back and forth until his cries quiet down. Wow, you have a very strong nurturing instinct. I think he likes you. You almost look like you could be his Lucis, or a Jadeblood. I mean, a human as a Lucis, would that be even far off? I mean, we're not entirely white, we're pretty weak, might be the worst Lucis ever, but possible. Why is my phone making noises? Is it even... whatever. You are pleased that she approves of your caretaking display. The wriggler's cough breaks through your haze of smug satisfaction. And when you look down, you realize that he seems to be having some trouble breathing. You point this out to Bronya. Good observation. You really are a natural at taking care of the other creatures, aren't you? Well, I guess trolls are just the opposite. Like, no offense to Jadebloods, but maybe it's just a possibility. Some people can find that nurturing ability to be very attractive in a potential friend. But as for the Wiggler, this is definitely not a good sign. I'm surprised none of the drones have noticed that he's sick. If we leave him here, he'll be called for sure. Oh, so... okay, that's harsh. I mean, maybe that's why they're born so incredibly loud. Bronya takes the Wriggler from you, and you're more than happy to hand him over, considering that you have no idea what to do with a sick baby that's not your species. Also, your broken ribs make holding a baby kind of painful, and Bronya holds the Wriggler carefully, but with perfect ease. Just like you hope she'll cuddle your new friend in its infancy. Back here. Once Bronya feels assured that her Jades have the situation at the Brooding Caverns under control, you both take the Wriggler back to the Jadeblood nursery. You hover around useless while Bronya sets up some kind of crib filled with green slime. You're a little concerned when she takes the Wriggler and submerges him under the slime. Because, like, he was already having trouble breathing? Surely drowning him in slime won't help? The supper should help strengthen his bellow sacs and soothe his sorrow chute. Interesting. So it's kind of like a drug. When he gets healthy again, I'll take him back to again. I'll take him back to the cavern and set him free to make his cocoon and pupate. But he's so small, it's unlikely that she'll survive the trials or be selected by Lucis. You hate to see Bronya looking sad. You try to be sympathetic, mentioning your astute observation that this whole system set up with the Wrigglers and the trials and the culling seems pretty brutal. What? Oh no, I would never suggest. This is just the way the world works. And it's fine. The trials are how young trolls prove that they're strong enough to survive. It's only right for the weak to be cold. It's the purpose of Jade Bloods to ensure the continuation of our species, and consequently, the hemispectrum. First, we are not revolutionaries. Second, we're meant to do our job and keep our heads down and keep things running smoothly. Third, I would never presume to question the basic tenets of Alternian society that would bring negative attention from the High Bloods, and I just want to keep my jades safe. You look around at the nursery and all these injured and or underdeveloped wigglers that Bronya has apparently supposed to let die. That Bronya was apparently supposed to let die. Okay, I thought I read that wrong. You think it might not be true that she doesn't question the way her world works. She's looking at you like she's scared you'll call her on it and expose her altruistic tendencies. You try to salvage this conversation thread. Did you say that calling wigglers sounded brutal? You meant neutral. Yes, you feel 100% neutral on this topic. Neither committed to the culling side of things, nor eager to take up arms in a revolution. Ah yes, neutral is how I feel about it as well. What a good word to describe exactly how I feel about all controversial political subjects. That's how you save yourself from getting cold, everyone! Did I mention that keeping this nursery isn't technically illegal? Because it isn't, technically. There's no reason for any of Triza's drones to come investigate our hive, and if any drones do come knocking, we have nothing to hide. No borderline revolutionary ideas will be tolerated within these walls. Oh, jeez. Bronya laughs nervously and looks around the room like she's making sure that any Imperial drones hiding in here heard her announcement. You feel bad for her, how nervous she is. You didn't mean to freak her out. You tell her that she sounds super convincing and why shouldn't she? Because she's clearly telling the truth. If you were an Imperial drone, you would definitely be satisfied right now with her clearly law-abiding and neutral ways. Thank you. That means a lot. You cast about for something to change the subject and mention that your ribs are feeling a bit better. Bronya's face brightens and she lifts up your arm gently so she can touch the injured part of your torso, examining it in her typically responsible and authoritative way. You shiver and wonder if her touch has healing properties. I doubt it. I'm glad to hear that. After all, I don't like it when my friends suffer. Your heart leaps. You look up, scarcely for allowing yourself to hope. Could it be? Or was she just making a general statement? If you're not in any more pain, hopefully that means your injuries will heal soon. I'll take care of you until then, my friend. We became a friend by being a douchebag, basically. I'm not sure how to feel about that. You're overcome. Your eyes fill with tears. Bronya smiles at you and squeezes your hand. Self-care comes first. Victory. Yay! Seriously, I'm not sure about this word. What happens if I'm not a dick? Will I die? Will it cause more trouble? Probably. Let's find out! But seriously, I'm really not sure, like, the entire, oh, look at me thing. Why is that the friendship route? It just seems wrong. Okay. Fight the monsters, save the day, you've got this. The Basin Lucis seems to be causing quite a ruckus. The other Lucy have now gotten riled up too, with some of them trying to gather wrigglers to keep them out of harm's way, and others just getting hyped to thrash. It seems like it could turn into a monster stampede, and they're close to the mother grub's big, soft, vulnerable abdomen. Not great. Fighting a monster single-handed seems like a daunting first step in a friendship, but you did tell her you could be responsible. Yeah, exactly. That's the right thing to do. You square your shoulder. Well, if you're basically almost dying with broken ribs, I don't know, but still. Your shoulders you square your shoulders and tell Bronya that she has nothing to worry about. You're going to stop that, Lucius. Calm down all the other Lucy, and protect the mother grub. All without breaking a sweat and hopefully without breaking any more bones either. Whoa there! I was going to suggest that I go after it while you stay here. You seem kind of weak and fragile, even apart from your injuries, I mean. I don't want you to get hurt worse, and I'm not sure I trust anyone other than myself to take the lead on this. That wasn't quite the reaction you were hoping for. Normally you would be all about sitting back and letting her protect you, because, well, protective and responsible is a good look on her. But desperate times call for desperate measures, and you don't know how else you're going to prove yourself worthy to be her friend. You do your best to project an air of confidence, or at least competence. Confidence or competence? I hope I did that right. You assure her that this is no sweat for you. You take down raging bison back on your home planet all the time. You're known for it, actually. That's a lie. Well, if you say that this isn't your first ungulate roping gallop exhibition, I'll believe you. I'll hang back to let you give it a shot. But if it gets too overwhelming in there, I'm right here. First, caring for the mother grub is my responsibility as a Jadeblood. Second, I'd never abandon a friend to deal with a mess of their own. If we end up being friends, that is. Oh hell yes, now you have reason to hope. Okay, hi there. You approach the rampaging bison with caution. Do all bison have horns like that? Maybe they do. You're no bison expert, but you're pretty sure they don't all have teeth that nasty. Bison on Earth mostly eat grass, don't they? This guy doesn't look like a herbivore. At first I'll get eaten, will I? At first you try to calm the Lucius down by talking to it, but your soothing words have no effect. In fact, you might have just made it even angrier by suggesting that it pause and take some deep breaths in reaction to its trampled charge. You're not even sure it can understand human speech, come to think of it. You circle around it wishing that you had some kind of lasso or something. Maybe you can herd it away from the mother grub. You look around to see if any of these other Lucy look vaguely like Earth's shepherd dogs, but no dice. You hesitate too long and the Lucius turns away, its furious eyes falling on the mother grub. It stamps its hooves, snorts air and out of its nostrils and screams in a way that sounds a lot more hellish than you imagine normal bison are capable of. It's obviously about to charge, and you can only think of one thing to do. In desperation, you leap forward and tackle it football style, doing everything you can with your flimsy human body to drag it onto its side. It half works. You plow it into the Lucius and stop it in its tracks, but it topples over on a nest of wigglers, taking you down with it. Wigglers and young trolls go bouncing everywhere, squealing in distress, and their Luci descend upon you in a rage. Everything is chaos for a while. You're trapped beneath the bison Lucius, which is very worrying for all your body parts, and you think you might feel something important rupturing inside you. But hey, on the bright side, this crushing mass is protecting you from all the other pissed off Luci trying to attack you. Just as your whole breathing situation is starting to get dicey, you hear a commotion and what sounds possibly the trouncing of some of the smaller Lucy that were trying to get you. Possibly okay. The crowd of beasts around you scatters, and then you hear her. Oof! I'm having a hard time getting this thing off of you. And he's still very angry. He keeps trying to kick me. Where's a bronze blood when you need one? You don't know what that means, but you're very grateful that she's here to help you. You try to communicate this, but it comes out garbled from all the blood in your mouth. Maybe don't try to speak, or move, or help. You experience a sinking feeling that could be related to your diminishing odds of impressing Bronya and becoming her friend. Or it could be the compression of all your internal organs. Either way, it's tough to feel optimistic right now, but before you can give in the complete despair, you hear other voices. Your view is blocked by the mass of bison flesh on top of you. But could it be, are these other people here to save you? Finally, I was wondering where you all had gotten off to. Let's all work together, girls. Okay. You two grab his horn. You two grab his horns to keep the head still and keep it from biting anyone. Second, the rest of you come around with me to its backside so we can push it without getting kicked. You hear some grunting and muttering, and the bison starts making noises that sound more confused and less furious. The pressure and pain on your chest briefly spike in intensity as the thing's weight shifts, and then they must succeed in dragging it off of you, because suddenly you can breathe again. But the crisis is not yet over. While you're still testing the use of your lungs and blinking up at the cavern ceiling, you hear a new cacophony of enraged monster noises. Uh-oh, the other Lucy are still agitated. Get down there and try to calm them down. Protect the mother grub. You try to lift yourself to see what's going on, but putting any weight on your arms makes you feel like maybe all your bones got turned to confetti, painful confetti. You feel strong hands throbbing you up gently, and now your head is on Bronya's lap. You try to focus more on how this is a nice place for your head to be and less on the pain. This is not good. I don't know if my jades can reach the stampede in time, and the mother grub could get injured, not to mention all these wrigglers in danger. Oh no. You didn't think this situation could get any worse, but now you see that several of the Imperial drones that had been about to leave the caverns are turning back, drawn by all the noise and chaos. But maybe this could be a good sign? Maybe they can instill some order? Fuck! They're going to kill everyone! She scrambles to her feet in the process letting your head whack down on the cave floor. Your vision swims, but you can still make out the drones firing indiscriminately at the Lucy, at the grubs and wigglers, and at the jade bloods. Oh shit. One laser beam skims the side of the mother grub's massive midsection. Her screams is so loud that the ceiling shakes, a few stalactites shake loose, falling on drones and Lucy and wrigglers alike. It's a total catastrophe. A whole rainbow's worth of troll wriggler and losers is splattering the cavern walls. Bronya seems paralyzed by the chaos, looking from her jades to the mother grub to the imperiled wrigglers like she's not sure who to help first. I can't believe it. It's the worst disaster we've ever had down here. And all because I thought I could sit back and let someone else be responsible for once. If I were a less secure person, I could let this moment plant a seed of self-doubt in about my ability to take care of others and my job as well. Or I could chalk it up to you being really fucking stupid. You shrink under the weight of her glare. She's green in the face from how angry she is. It looks kind of like more red, but it might be just the lighting. You swallow and manage to spit out enough blood to ask a question that already know is hopeless. Does this mean you can be friends? Are you serious right now? I do not make friends with anyone who recklessly endangers the trolls and wrigglers under my care. That... Oh, jeez, that... Oh, no. You killed them all. Oh, no. Her face, though. I like the drawing. Okay, then. That's it for this episode. We managed to kill everyone by trying to be a nice guy. And actually being a douchebag paid out for everyone. Who would have thought? Probably the writer of Homestuck. Anyway, this is it for this episode. There's a lot of lore, like background information lore in this thing. I love it. I want more. I want to know all about troll culture. Anyway, this is it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If it is that way, then please leave a like and check out our other content if you want. And I sincerely love all of you guys, and we'll see each other in the next video. Cheerio!